On today's show, the story of Minnesota's other popular fish. Find out what makes northern pike eating machines.
I'll fish forever, I think.
This angler celebrates fishing just the same as he did as a kid. Meet cane pole Malone. And a tasty recipe for your next fishing trip.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hey everybody, Laura and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Up first, Schara waxes about another popular Minnesota game fish.
Yeah, it's Minnesota's northern pike.
Behold Minnesota's northern pike. It's the fish we love to hate or love to love.
Here it comes, here it comes. Got him. That's a big northern. Holy cow. Sweet.
Our names for pike say it all. Great northern, jackfish, pickerel, snake, hammerhandle, SOB, to name a few.
Okay.
The Ojibwe had their own name, which I can't pronounce, but it goes sort of like this, Mishinamegwe. By any name, the northern pike is an eating machine, a camouflaged torpedo at speeds of 30 miles per hour or more. Armed with two jaws lined with dozens of replaceable teeth. Look out, easy meals, minnows, muskrats, ducklings, baby loons, just about anything that'll fit between its jaws. We also have plenty of pike. In some cases, too many in the majority of the state's fishing lakes. Crowded pike means stunted pike, a problem DNR is trying to fix with special catch regulations. But more pike are hatched every spring. Starting in early April, as water temperatures reach the lower 40s, one female pike may drop upwards of 250,000 eggs. Upon hatching, the young pike are on their own. If you're looking for a trophy pike in Minnesota, the odds aren't really good. Sadly, too many 10 to 20 pounders have been caught and killed over the decades, and it takes about 8 years for a pike to reach 30 inches or more. All of which means big pike are too valuable to be caught only once. Yet a few trophies still swim in a few lakes, such as Lake of the Woods, Mille Lacs, Cass, Basswood, and Leech. According to DNR state fish records, the record pike in Minnesota is almost 46 pounds, although its validity is in doubt. The state catch and release record was set in May 2018, when Matthew Swanson of Woodbury, a teenager, landed a pike 45 1/4 inches in the Rainy River. Lastly, pike also are known for body odor, very strong compared to almost any other fish. Which brings up the question, what do you get when you cross a rose with a pike? Well, the smell isn't rosy. I'm sorry, I just had to do that.
Up next, meet members of a unique Minnesota fishing family. Their approach in the boat dates back to simpler fishing times.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Star Bank, All Seasons Garage Door, and by the Minnesota DNR.
It's time for a story that should take anglers back in time. We head to Otter Tail County to meet Martin Malone, a 93-year-old who still fishes the same way he did as a kid. Life has a funny way of bending time. Seems the older we get, the faster seconds seem to tick away.
Come on, I on Big Pine.
Martin Malone thumbs through a lifetime of memories.
Did that up in the woods on the farm.
Many of his favorites, the result of fishing rod in hand.
I remember the first bite I had, I got your bastard, you know. Dad said, you shut up. That was my first experience on the boat.
Angling always seemed to fit into this longtime farmer's free time.
Dad taught us how to work hard. Dad showed us love. Dad showed us how to hunt and fish. That was our Sunday thing to do after chores and church and stuff. It would be a Sunday afternoon out at the lake.
These days, roles reversed. Martin's son Greg drives the boat,
Anytime now, we're in good weeds.
and Dad just fishes.
I'm just riding. I'll fish forever, I think.
Well, if the weather's nice, I'd say he goes anytime he's feeling up to it, which sometimes is twice a day, sometimes is once every morning.
In literally 9 decades, the how of Malone family pike fishing, an act which earned 93-year-old Martin a nickname, Cane Pole Malone. See, Martin always trolls, cradled in his weathered hands, a nearly 20-foot long cane fishing pole. Fishing in its simplest form.
What?
He got off.
Oh, Dad! What are you doing? There's no huge technique. You just get it out there and hang on.
You get a big enough fish and it's a fight, so.
I got to catch one for the show, you know.
3 generations still catch fish the way Grandpa taught them.
That's definitely one for the pickle jar.
It's a family thing.
Most Malone families, you say cane pulling, they've done it. Look at there!
Oh, that's a nice one.
Mostly I'm just zigzagging back and forth, and so that lures speed up and slow down.
Martin adds his own movement too, much like rowing an old boat. Do it just right,
Oh, got a fish. Oh,
and this happens.
oh my goodness. It's just that we've done all our lives, and I got more thrill out of that than a rod and reel.
Who did that? Oh, he jumped right in.
Yeah, I think you can fry that one. Oh. Nobody had rod and reels when I was a kid.
Truth be told, most everybody fished cane poles way back. Minnesota's state archives sit full of photos, stories told in black and white.
They became obsolete when people started getting more proficient in the newer technologies of tackle.
More complex rod and reel combos replace simple sticks and line.
That's the hardest part, is finding these poles. The last time I found some, I bought 25 of them. And we rolled it up across the hood, the whole covered from one end of his car to the other. We just hog-tied him on top like a deer.
That's what the Malones do.
There we go. We'll take him all day. It's the simplest form of fishing. To me, it's the most exciting way to catch a fish. You know, it's pretty rare to go on a lake and see anybody else that looks like a bunch of gypsies with their poles out.
Gypsies who might fish a little different than most. But their talk, well, the Malones sound like bona fide Minnesota anglers.
Well, he's gonna be up till midnight cleaning fish, ain't he? That's yeah.
Who's that?
You. You got all those fish to clean now.
That's a joke.
What? That's how it works. The guy that catches the least fish cleans the fish.
I caught 5.
We did the rest of the work.
Caught 5?
I caught 5.
I know the apple didn't fall far from the tree when the smart talk starts.
This is edited, ain't you? You can cut out. You can cut out.
Don't forget to check out the Minnesota Bound podcast, the stories behind all of our stories. You can find this podcast anywhere you choose to listen.
Still ahead, a trip back in time to one of the world's most famous fishing rivers. But first, we're off to the kitchen. Find out what to do with your next catch of crappies.
Closed captioning provided by Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
It's panfish season in Wild in the Kitchen today, and I'm here with Chef Kevin Convulsion from Firelight Grill House and Cocktail Bar. And Chef Kevin, I brought in some of my dad's fresh crappies.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, little guys.
Are they little? Well, we won't tell them. We won't tell them.
So,
what are we making today?
We're gonna do paprika crusted crappies with a little chorizo, white wine, butter, and lemon. Super
Perfect.
simple.
So what do we do to get started here?
We are gonna season the fish with some salt just on both sides. And we're using a kosher salt as well on these guys.
Liberally, I'm noticing.
Mm-hmm. So if you can sprinkle just a little paprika onto the plate. So next we're just gonna get a little paprika on each, just on one side. We're gonna do the flesh side.
Well, the crappies may be small, but he definitely cut a lot of them, so we're in luck there.
Yeah.
We won't go hungry. Why just one side?
Question. Just cause.
Because he's the boss of the kitchen,
Yeah,
and whatever the boss says,
I'm the boss.
it goes.
No, actually, I just thought it might be a little bit too much.
Too much paprika?
Too much paprika. We're ready to fry these bad boys.
All right.
So we're gonna take it to the pan. So I'm gonna put a little oil in this pan. All right, so we can put it paprika side down.
Paprika side down and away from you, correct?
Mm-hmm. You don't want to splash yourself. We're gonna cook these on the paprika side for about a minute. You can kind of see where it gets a little white on the edges, and that lets us know, it's about halfway. Then we're gonna cook the other side for about another minute.
They look beautiful.
All right, Laura, so now our fish are cooked, and we're gonna make our sauce. This is the fun part.
And the best part is that we're using wine.
And some chorizo.
Yes.
So we're gonna add that to the pan.
Okay. And this is a Spanish smoky sausage, right? You can just
Yep,
buy this in the
correct.
grocery store?
Yep. Yeah, and this is
good.
already cooked off, so we don't want to be using any raw pork here. Give me about maybe a cup.
Now, I usually have a heavy pour here, so we'll
That's
see.
fine.
Is that good?
Yeah, you
A little bit more? All right. I like your style.
So we're just gonna let that kind of cook down, and you can scrape up any of the fish bits as well. That's gonna help flavor the sauce. And then we're gonna cook that down to a scant 2 tablespoons. We're just gonna add a little bit of butter. And I would say for this, that's about 3 tablespoons of butter.
Fresh parsley you're using?
Yep, fresh chopped. Perfect.
Good. Look at that. So good.
We're just gonna kind of spoon it over the top. If you want to cut a lemon,
Sure can.
and then just squeeze a little bit on there.
This looks amazing. I love paprika and wine and butter and crappies. That is very good. First of all, thanks, Dad, for having an amazing harvest catching all these crappies. And if you're looking for a new idea for shore lunch, this is definitely it. Thank you. Very good. Cheers.
Cheers.
If you'd like to try this recipe, you can head to our Minnesota Bound Facebook page. The recipe is there.
Straight ahead, a Minnesota Bound classic in honor of a most revered and rare fish.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by OREO Cookies and RITZ Snacks, Hewitt Docks, Lifts and Pontoon Lakes, Coors Light, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Today's Minnesota Bound Classic takes us to Canada's maritime province, New Brunswick.
Yep, it's all about chasing a time-honored fish.
On the far northeastern corner of North America, people wake up to a morning tradition. Call it Miramichi magic. New Brunswick's Miramichi River winds 150 wild miles through the heart of the maritime province. It is here that people chase the rarest of pursuits.
This is a game of patience, let me tell you.
This is the story of the Miramichi, a tale long documented on the walls in Doketown.
This is the Atlantic Salmon Museum. It was built in 1983.
For as long as anyone can remember, folks have been chasing Miramichi Atlantic salmon. The rarity of this fish attracts the masses.
Out of 7,500 salmon eggs laid, 2 adults make it to adulthood. When you look at the odds of catching one are very slim to none.
But the real rarity of these fish may be their trek. Atlantic salmon swim more than 100 miles downriver, out into the ocean, and all the way to Greenland. They then somehow find their way back to the Miramichi. That's a 2,000-mile trek.
I can't imagine catching a 58-pound salmon, can you?
Just why these fish and this river draw visitors from all corners of the planet.
Was anybody on the backwater this morning?
The Fall Salmon Run calls fishermen to Upper Oxbow Adventures, started by Deb Norton. The fish camp sits on the banks of the river.
It's cold in the mornings. The guides, they'll get a fire going on the shore. You smell the smoke coming from the fire.
Oh, there's a take. Jeez.
It's a very inviting atmosphere.
No one understands better than guide Betty Ward.
When I picked up fly fishing, I actually fell in love. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. All I wanted to do was fish.
Betty comes from a long history of Miramichi fishermen. Micmac Indian lore tells of her ancestors fishing these holes 3,000 years ago.
The river has such a wonderful life all its own.
I think if you live on the Miramichi, it's magic. It is a spirit for many people.
Just why Betty offers tobacco each time she wades. To Miramichiers, this river means more than water, much more. To understand is to stop by Dokes and Doketown.
It's part of what distinguishes us as Miramichiers. There's a very close connection to the land.
The crew here still hand ties every salmon fly. By all accounts, it's an art.
There's just something about the character of a salmon fly that you can just lose yourself in the whole experience of fishing.
All the sounds, the fall scenes, it all leads to passion.
Well, the passion for the river, I think, is just the grandeur of the Atlantic salmon.
A grandeur we understood.
There he goes.
Wow, look at him jumping.
Isn't that nice?
The instant Betty's fish hit.
Cool. Hey, here it goes again. They just run and jump, and they're awesome. This is why people come to the mighty Miramichi. My heart pounds, and I just think that I'm so fortunate to be on this river.
We got him. Wow.
He's a good fish. 61 centimeters, so it's a growth. He has sea lice on him, so he's fresh.
Thing is,
look at the colors on that.
To hook one fish a day like this one, well, that's a great day of fall fishing.
Hey, thanks, little fish.
It's the nature of the beast.
Perfect.
I would hook and land just one 9-pound salmon in 4 full days on the river.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Look at this size.
That's part of the magic here, part of the Miramichi mystery. Come here and you'll better understand. It's the lure of a river.
When you come down here, it changes you. And the more time that you spend down here, I believe it changes your life.
I caught my only fish in the first half hour of the trip in the rain. We threw casts for 3 more days, not a bite.
Oh no, it's almost a tease, isn't it?
Yes.
They're definitely curious and unpredictable fish.
You got it. Well, that about does it for us. We will see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.